going on, guys? It's good to be back from vacation. I'm Donnie with Tyler and Scott.
What's up, guys?
Joining another episode of the Fantasy Football Wrap-Up.
Yep.
As always, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you follow us on Facebook as well, you can be entered to win this nice David Johnson autographed helmet. Today we're going to be going over the top 20 running backs in a PPR fantasy league.
Yeah.
Start with, in the top 10, at number 1 we have Johnson, of course. Number 2, Lev Bell. Number 3, Zeke the Freak Elliott. Which,
No surprise.
Could drop, pending suspension and all that fun stuff.
Yep.
Number 4, LaShawn McCoy. 5, we have Melvin Gordon. 6, we have the sophomore Jordan Howard.
Good
one.
7, Devontae Freeman. Number 8, DeMarco Murray. Number 9, Jay Ajayi. Surprise to some. And to round out the top 10, we have Todd Gurley.
Yeah.
Out of this top 10, one of the guys I like the most is LaShawn McCoy. And I know some people say he's injury prone, he's injured a lot, he's on and off the field.
Yep.
He played and started in 15 games last year. So you can say that he plays through the injury.
Yeah.
He does.
And even if you say he is injured a lot, he still racked up, a little over 1,500 yards last year?
Yeah,
14,
total, yeah.
In total yards, yeah.
14 total touchdowns. I mean, that's
Yep.
not bad.
No.
So imagine,
It's all right.
Yeah, it's alright.
I mean, if he's healthy,
I guess you got problems with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, if he's 100% for all 16 games, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, you're looking at Le'Veon Bell numbers if he's healthy all
Yeah.
year, probably.
Like you said, even if he does 14, 15 games with that kind of production,
Yeah.
that's still first-round talent.
It is.
A top first-round talent.
Pure runner, he's been more efficient than Bell and Johnson last year. It's
Just
just
running.
pure running, yeah.
Yeah. Especially Johnson.
Out of the top 10, Scott, is there anyone you also like?
Yeah, I like Jordan Howard up there. I know it's kind of
Interesting.
a question name. Some people don't know how they feel about it, right? Because he's got the bad quarterback, no offensive weapons, bad run defense. Usually those are signs that you want to stay away from when looking for a running back. Running backs, you want big, good defenses that, so the guy can get more carries and,
Someone you can't stack the box against.
Someone you can't stack the box. But you know what? Last year he went through Matt Barkley, Brian Hoyer, a couple other guys. I couldn't even tell you their names. And he was second in the league in rushing, and he didn't even start the whole 16 games. He didn't start till week 3 because Jeremy Langford had that job, and he couldn't hold it. So if you look at his numbers from week 3 on, he averages 96 yards a game.
Hey, the Bears got a diamond. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, 18 carries and 96 yards a game and a touchdown every other.
Yeah.
And I think the touchdowns are going to go up this year. I think they're going to make a big, because he's their whole offense.
Yeah.
I think it's like you said, it's going to be like the David Johnson effect where they're going to run everything through him. And they're still going to have a bad quarterback. I get that. I think he's the guy that he's bulletproof on that.
I do too.
Tyler, is there anyone who you do not like?
Absolutely. Put thumbs down for him when we were talking about it. Jay Ajayi. Boo! One of the most overrated when you take out of those 3 games, or 4 games, he would actually went over 100 yards.
Yeah.
But with the big games included, he averaged 105 yards a game, 21 carries. If you're in a league like ours, we give you a point for every 5 carries, so that'd be 4 extra points.
Yeah.
He averaged almost, a touchdown a game in that span. So, I mean, with those, he is a top 10 running back. He would be if that was the case.
Right.
But when you take apart those, his numbers are god-awful. I'm talking about, 30th running back.
Jesus.
I'm talking I would prefer, McCaffrey as my running back over him. So 17 carries, 54 yards, and a quarter of a touchdown per game when you take out those other games.
Jesus.
So you're talking about a guy that, in my opinion, I'm going to stamp it right now, is overrated. Don't draft him.
Right. And his ADP is in the middle of the 2nd round.
Yeah,
it's 17th.
And then some people want to just take the chance because of the name and maybe you get the big games, but I'm telling you right now, expect those games of 30 yards rushing and 20 carries and he gets nothing. It's going to happen against New England too.
Yeah. He's going to cost you a lot of weeks, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not something you want. I agree 100% there.
Where would you draft him? If you could get him at a good value.
I guess if I could get him in a good value, I'd say maybe middle to late third, because I mean at that point you're choosing between him and Lamar Miller, and I think the upside for those few games could be a little bit better.
Right.
But I just wouldn't draft him. Period. I have a late third round pick, and I'm not drafting him if he's there. So I'm going wide receiver at that point.
I like him in around 7 and 9.
Yeah.
No, honestly, you can't count on him. He's going to cost you weeks.
He is.
You know, because 1 week he's going to get you a good amount, and he's going to disappear for 7 or 8 weeks.
Yeah.
How can you count on that?
Yeah, and his quarterback isn't really the most stable ever either.
Right. So you might as well not start somebody on those other weeks, which are the majority.
That team, that defense is a little overrated too, so they're always losing.
Yeah.
And it's hard to keep running the ball. I know.
It is.
And he isn't a out of this world pass catcher. I know they say they want to try to get him to catch the ball, but you know, Adam Gase tried to get C.J. Anderson to catch the ball. How'd that work out?
Yeah, not so well.
Believe it when you see it.
Yeah,
Believe it when you see it. I agree with that.
Moving on to the bottom half of the top 20. At 11, we have Lamar Miller.
Mm-hmm.
12, we have coming out of retirement, Marshawn Lynch.
With his Walker.
Yep.
Yeah.
13, we have pass catching Ty Montgomery.
Okay.
14, the rookie Leonard Fournette.
Overrated.
15, Isaiah Crowell.
Bro.
16, Carlos Hyde.
Okay.
17, Spencer Ware.
Okay.
18, Daniel Woodhead. 19, also a rookie, Dalvin Cook. And to round out the top 20, C.J. Anderson, who will hopefully remain healthy this year.
And guys, this is a PPR top 20. I know he stated that. That's because that's why Danny Woodhead is on here.
Clearly.
That's why I know some people are going to freak out when they see Danny Woodhead.
Right.
But
no question.
Just want to clarify that.
Yeah, no question.
Also coming back from injury.
Yeah. Well.
But out of the bottom top 10, one of the guys I personally don't like is Marshawn Lynch. I mean, not only is he coming out of retirement, he's going into a pass-catching offense, and he's another year older, too. And I mean, the last year he even played in, he couldn't stay on the field. He started 6 games, a little over 400 yards on the season with 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he had a groin or something, and he was just...
It was everything.
Old. He looked old then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
He's pushing the walker onto that field, so unless he falls in the end zone from 1 yard out, Donnie's right. I wouldn't take him.
I'm with you 100% on that one.
And the coaching staff even said he's probably not going to eclipse 200 carries this year. So I mean,
he's 20 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah. So standard scoring league, I mean, is probably better. PPR, you don't catch the ball.
Yeah.
He's useless at
He's
PPR,
useless,
to be honest.
So he's touchdown reliant. So and his ADP is pretty high. So
he's a third rounder, right?
Second, third round.
Second, third round.
So it depends on where you can get him. I agree with you.
A little risky.
He's a little, and that's probably not a popular opinion. I think a lot of people like him too.
They do because we have people that always go onto the Facebook and say, "Oh, he could get 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns."
Yeah,
I want to know
crazy.
Why you think that. The guy hasn't done that in like 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So,
Scott, is there anyone who you also don't really like in the bottom top 10?
Yeah, I don't like Spencer Ware. To me, he's very overrated. I know you think Kansas City, well, I don't know if you think it, but Kansas City, they always had like Priest Holmes, Larry Johnson, feed him the ball. Same with Jamal Charles. This guy's nothing like that. He's not that guy. He had all the opportunity in the world last year to go and show what he could do. That was his job to lose, and he just didn't do much. I mean, he only had 921 yards.
Yep.
He played in 14 games.
Yeah.
You know, he only averages 15 carries, 66 yards, and 0.2 of a touchdown a game.
but he's another one like
So it takes him over 4 games to get a touchdown. So every 5th game, you're going to get... He's so overrated.
Yeah.
Don't fall into the trap. Oh, he's their one running back. He's going to get all these carries. 15 carries a game. What is that? For a guy that's not... And he's not productive with it either.
Yeah.
And he's not a goal line guy. They don't get a lot of touch. He's just PPR standard. He's really overrated. I personally think he might even lose the job to Kareem Hunt.
He's going to lose
So
it to Kareem
we'll
Hunt.
see.
I wouldn't think that he's going to lose it.
We'll see.
And it might not even be him. Kendrick West might be a better back than him, and that's sad. So
yeah, although he couldn't take that job last year either.
Well,
I would just stay away from... That's not a high-powered offense either.
It isn't.
Yeah.
You know, all the offense is going to run through Hill and the tight end, so I don't think Ware's going to get a whole ton of carries and a whole ton of production. So I think he's overrated there.
All right. Tyler, who do you like in the bottom 10?
The Crow is the guy I like. You know, they're moving Duke Johnson to the slot receiver now, so it's his backfield, and you know, I don't know who their quarterback's going to be, but right now, I think he's good. He almost got 1,000 yards last year.
Yeah.
I think he eclipses 1,000. I got him around, 10-5 to 1,100 yards. You know, maybe 10 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He's also a better pass catcher than people give him credit for too.
Oh,
So
40 catches.
yeah, he's a lot better than most people think. So I think he repeats the same passing catching. So I like him where he's rated in our top 20.
Plus that defense, I think, got a little better with the draft. We'll wait and see how that plays out. But I agree. I think he's got some upside.
Yeah,
I do. Even though he's on Cleveland.
Yeah, well, they're in a division that runs the ball, so
they are, and they want to run the ball.
Yeah,
you know, they want to take the pressure off the quarterback, the rookie that's going to start. Not as well.
So very good points.
Yeah.
All right. Well, a few questions to wrap it up. I guess after we talked about who we liked and we didn't like in the top 20.
Yeah.
Do you guys both have a guy who's burnt you in the past that you might actually target this upcoming draft?
Yeah,
sure. Go first on this one.
Yeah, I'll jump on that one. So DeMarco Murray's a guy that burnt me in the past. He had that monster year in Dallas a few years ago, and then he got traded to Philly. I drafted him with my second pick. I took Matt Forte at 1 because he came off a big year. I got Murray after that. I thought I had two monsters. Philly had no idea how to use him. I mean, he became a trade-friendly person. I think he got like 7 teams. He cost me my second-round pick.
Yeah, he did.
He burnt me, but I do like him this year, even with Henry behind him. I know we talked about it earlier in the top 20 a couple videos ago. Yeah. And you can check that out, but I still think he's got upside. I still think he's going to give you a production. He had no signs of falling off, so he's burnt me in the past, but I would not be afraid to jump on his train again. Depending on where you're going to draft him. I wouldn't want him at the first round.
Yeah.
But if I'm somewhere, I pick in the middle of the second round in a 10-team from there to from there to the end of the second. Yeah. I think it's good value. Yeah, I wouldn't be afraid.
I like almost every Tennessee player that's fantasy relevant, to be honest with you.
Just about.
You know, Mariota, we talked about him in the quarterback episode.
No
we moved him up to 6 on our board. So
yeah.
That offense is a lot better than people think it is.
Yeah.
And especially Andrew Luck could be missing time.
Right.
They could take a head start in that division.
They could.
To start the year.
And they do like to run the ball first.
They do.
They do like to run first and then throw. So he's going to have plenty of opportunities.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
He's a good safe pick. So he's my guy.
Yep. Tyler, what about you?
For me, it's Danny Woodhead. In the PPR-based league, I drafted him. He blew his knee out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, very disappointed in that. But, I mean, it also helped Melvin Gordon out. So I guess that works for a lot of people.
Yep.
But, Danny Woodhead for me is they lost Kenneth Dixon for the year. He's now the guy. Yeah. I'm not buying into this Terrence West stuff.
God, no.
Everyone out there that loves Terrence West and wants to take him because he goes in the 12th round, just take Danny Woodhead and get the PPR points as well. Yeah. And he's gonna probably be the leading catcher on that team if Macklin's not.
Right.
You know, it's going to be one of those guys because Flacco will check down.
Right.
When Ray Rice was there, that's all he did is check to Ray Rice.
Yeah, he caught a ton.
He could be just like Ray Rice, maybe not good as good rushing.
Clearly.
But Danny Woodhead is one of the best running backs in the league inside the red zone. That's something a lot of people don't know.
Yes,
it's because he comes out of the backfield and
he's
one-on-one with a linebacker, he's going to torch that guy.
Yeah.
So he does score touchdowns.
Yeah.
So that's for me. And he burnt me due to injury a few times, but the time I drafted him, he finished in the top 8 when he played the full season.
Yeah.
So he is a guy that can do it.
Yeah.
So he could finish as an RB1 for you if he pans out in PPR. Is what it would work out to be. So
okay. I don't like him that much.
No, I don't like him that much, but that's what he did before. So that's what I'm saying. He could. And in this offense, they don't have any weapons.
Okay.
So for me, it is a guy that could take advantage of not having a lot of weapons, and that's why I like him as somebody that's burnt me that I would take.
Yeah. He comes late too. His ADP is like 7th, 8th round, and I think he's even going to go later than that.
Yeah.
So I think he falls into the double digits. So it's good value there.
It is.
Personally, I like Todd Gurley this year. I mean, last year I picked him up, and it just was a steep downhill mess.
Yeah.
I mean, he finished with a little over 800 yards and 6 touchdowns from the year before having 10 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I like to think they got a little bit better on that offensive line there. He's another year older.
Yep.
Hopefully Goff has something together.
Yeah.
Complete a third down pass.
Yeah. Hope is the key word right there. But I think you're right. I think he gets more touch. I think we even talked about him in the top 20 video.
Yeah, we did.
I like his upside too. I'm a big fan of his. 2nd, 3rd round is probably going to
get him. You're getting a guy that is proven he can be a top 4 or 5 running back. So, I mean, you're getting a guy that can do it.
Right.
And now there's a new coaching regime there.
Yeah.
I would personally, I know in the third round, Marshawn Lynch is supposed to go there in the middle of the third. Take Gurley over him, 100%.
If he's there.
You know what I mean? Like that's what I would do.
I think a lot of people like him too, don't
Yeah.
he? I know a lot of mock drafts I do. He's gone in the second round,
Yeah,
high
he is.
second round sometimes. That's a little more than I like him.
I've seen him go on the
Well,
swing at 12th round.
I have too.
So like
I have
people
too.
take him on that swing.
Wow.
Yeah, I like him a little after that. I don't like him
Yeah,
that
no,
much.
I'm not one that's gonna have a position to draft him because I.
It
draft
depends how your
late.
drafts go too, right? Because if your draft is running back heavy, he's gonna go a lot earlier. Ours is not. So I think ours is going to go a little bit later. So just like we always talk about, know your drafting.
Yeah.
He's got great upside, I think.
Definitely remember to know your draft. That's the biggest thing.
No question. Yeah, no question.
Yeah. A lot of mocks I've done, I usually get him in the third round.
Yeah.
So that's not that bad. As my second
Steal.
year.
I like him in the third round. He's got good upside.
You get an RB1.
I don't think he goes back to what he did 2 years ago. I don't know if he gets that good.
No, he's gonna go over 1,000 though. He's easily doing that this year. I
and
think.
his touchdowns go up. I think. In our league, he's going to be better too because we get points. Like Tyler said, a point every 5 carries. So he gets 20 carries a game. He's going to have 4 points for us.
Exactly.
He's going to be much better in our league.
So
yeah. He carried the ball a lot last year too. So it's
Yeah.
275 carries.
Right.
Well, I mean that's a lot of
There's
points.
no
You
joke.
get
It is amazing though. We got 275 carries and 800 yards.
I know. Well, that's because
it's so
that's
bad.
because they knew Jared Goff couldn't throw the ball 4 yards downfield, and they put every single person in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
If anyone watched one of those games, like I remember the Arizona in their game.
Yep.
Arizona had extra linemen on the field playing a linebacker because they knew it was a run to Gurley.
Yeah.
Like they had linemen covering backs out of the backfield, and Goff would throw it 7 feet over.
Yeah, he had no holes.
So
he had a rough.
he was doomed last year, but I think with, like I said, with the new coaching, I think they can open up some running lanes.
Yeah.
You know,
it's amazing to get that many carries.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
You know.
Scott, who would you say, in regards to their ADP, has the most risk?
The most risk.
Most risk.
Barry Sanders. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna go with Lamar Miller here.
good one.
I like Lamar Miller. He's a nice little player.
Yep.
I see him go in the third. I've seen him go in the late second. Boy, I think that's a risk for a guy that doesn't get you touchdowns. He gets you carries, so in our league maybe he's a little bit better, but he doesn't. I drafted this guy last year in the second round because I thought he was going to be the monster. Coming off the year before when he was with Miami, he would catch the ball a ton. Those wide receiver screens he would do.
Yep, he would.
He was a beast. He was scoring like crazy in our league. And I thought that coming over to Houston that, they would just be captain check down to him. They don't even use him as a receiver.
You would think someone like Osweiler last year would have utilized him.
Right.
Who couldn't throw the ball downfield.
Yeah.
You could have thrown a little 7-yard pass.
Yeah. I just don't think it's in his repertoire.
No, I know. But I mean, now he's gone, so you got. I don't know if it's Deshaun Watson or Tom Wonder's year Savage, but.
Oh, it's Watson. It's Watson. We'll see if he does.
Yeah.
He only had 31 catches last year in 16 games. That's not a whole lot for a guy that's good at.
But they did.
Receiving.
Another reason why he's a risk, I think, is that they did just draft a guy. I forget who the name is.
Oh, the guy at Texas.
He just got
He just got caught for doing drugs or something.
Foreman, I think his name was.
Foreman.
Something like that.
He's in trouble. And I don't think he's in any kind of risk of losing anything.
Yeah.
I just don't think that offense uses him.
They don't.
Yeah.
And it's surprising because Bill O'Brien, as you can see, we're Patriots fans. We had him, and the running backs were used all the time.
And look at the year before. You had Alfred Blue, who I'm like, why are you starting him? And then I seen what he was doing.
18 points because he gets 6 catches for 80 yards.
I don't know what happened to Miller. So I like him. I just don't like him second, third round. If I could get him 4th, 5th rounds, I'd be fine
It's
with
a lot
it.
different. Yep.
But in the second round, man,
it's tough.
It hurt me last year. I know that.
It did.
Yeah.
So
it's true.
Buyers beware where you get them.
And there's a theme with this too. The running backs that don't have the quarterbacks, it's hard to really buy into them.
Yeah.
He
could be much better if Watson starts and kind of has that little connection
if
with
Hopkins goes off. If Hopkins goes off, I think Miller could have a huge year.
I agree.
Because Hopkins is one of those guys that doesn't get the touchdowns all the time.
Right.
He gets you into the red zone.
Right.
And Lamar Miller was the least used out of the top 10 guys. What is he? 11?
He's 11.
Sorry. So.
Top 11 guys.
Yeah, but he was the worst used out of that group of guys in the red zone last year.
Yeah.
So they just didn't use him.
He had a good game against the Colts with 2-3 touchdowns.
They were putting Alfred Blue in on the goal line instead of him. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of those things that just
If you're looking at like Gurley in the second and him in the third, you better be careful. You better have hit on your first pick.
Yeah, you better have David Johnson or Antonio Brown or someone like that. Because
so just be careful with him on the way you draft him.
Yep.
But he's a good pick other than
All
that.
right. To wrap up, I'm going to answer the final question of who has the most value in the top 20. And based on his ADP, at least, it's probably Ty Montgomery, personally.
Okay.
I think
favorite players.
His ADP, I think it's like high
I'll give
5th
it to
round,
you.
maybe?
Yeah.
4th, 5th?
Yeah, late 4th, early 5th.
And I mean, the pass catching ability. What did he start? He started 6 games last year and had 44 catches.
Yeah.
So I mean, if he's in there on 100% of the snaps,
Yeah.
I mean,
sky's
the limit.
And he didn't start the year as that either.
No, he
that
didn't.
came later on. So
he was a wide receiver to start.
Yeah.
And it was injuries that pushed him into running back.
Yeah.
And, Aaron Rodgers is a different example. It's the opposite of what they did in Houston.
Right.
He would just drop back and check down to Montgomery because Montgomery
all
wasn't
the
a
time.
carrier. I think he had double-digit carries twice all year.
It
or something like that.
wasn't a lot anyway.
So, I mean, he was just a guy that they would throw 8 times to him.
Right.
He gets 80 yards and 5 or 6 catches, and you're looking at 13 points in PPR right there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he can easily get you 17 a week if they utilize him like they did last year, and I think they will.
Yep.
And they might find a better role because as much as I don't like Mike McCarthy, he does utilize his skill players.
All the time.
Every
no matter
time.
what position.
Jordy Nelson is utilized more than any receiver and might be the most underrated wide receiver in football.
Right.
So he does know how to use his weapons, and it does help when you have Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback.
No question.
So
He's on a good offense.
For me, I love that pick.
Yeah.
All right, well.
Tyler, what do you got? Anything?
Well, for me, we have Delvin Cook and C.J. Anderson we haven't really touched on yet.
Yeah.
But for me, Delvin Cook, he's going to win that starting job. I know right now Murray's on the PUP list to start training camp. I was under the impression it was for the first 6 games, but I was corrected by Scott. But he's just on there right now. He will return. But even if he does take away the carries at the goal line, Cook catches the ball.
He does.
And Sam Bradford is check down city.
Yeah.
He is the mayor of check downs.
Yeah.
So I think he has a monster year this year.
He's a great sleeper.
And a lot of people fall in love with Fournette, but he goes way too high to match the value that you need him to do.
That's a great point.
And Delvin Cook, you're getting him, I think it's like 5th round.
Yeah, it's like
5th or 6th.
Yeah, 5th or 6th, middle of
so
5th.
you're getting him in the 5th
On
or
average.
6th round, and he's a guy that can come out of nowhere.
I love him.
And he's one of my favorite guys to
Me too.
draft. I get him a lot, and all of the comments I get are like, "Oh, your running backs are weak because you got Cook." I'm like, "Well, Cook can produce Fournette and McCaffrey. He could be the best running back
Out of all the rookies.
Out of all the rookies,
Yeah.
So, and we did leave McCaffrey off this board. It is PPR. It's just hard to tell right now because Jonathan Stewart is the starting running back, and that's been confirmed by Carolina.
Yep.
So it's hard for us to put somebody that's primarily going to be a slot receiver.
Yeah.
It'd be like putting Duke Johnson in the top right now.
And he don't like to throw to the running back. I just have a hard time buying in.
Yeah.
If he went to Green Bay, he might even be
New
top
England,
13,
Green Bay,
top
one of those.
12.
I agree.
But he didn't. He went to Carolina, who only likes to throw to receivers and occasionally the tight end. And I don't know. We'll have to see if that changes or not. I know we got C.J. Anderson down there. Well, I kind of like C.J. because I think you're going to get him a little 5th, 6th, 7th round too, or at least you should.
In our league, if you know your leagues like we do here, he's going to fall into the 8th round-ish in our league because people aren't going to, because they're going to already have their running backs and a couple of us wait on them, but we're not going to risk taking those guys. They could go ahead and take their bench running backs before I'll get Delvin Cook after him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he'll outproduce him.
Yeah.
But
I think he's got some upside. I mean, I'm not talking about a guy that could be a top 10 back for you.
No. But where you draft him, you're right. He's going to represent value because he is number 1.
I think he'd be a good flex player for you if you're the team that likes running backs or a good bye week fill in, and you don't have to go early
He's
with
a touchdown back too. He's going to be the goal line guy because I think the other guy broke his wrist or something. Booker. Booker was out 6 to 8 weeks, I think it was, or is that their?
I didn't hear a number. I didn't hear a number yet.
I know the defensive end's out 6 to 8 weeks.
But if you get him late rounds, he's a good flex player for you. So just keep an eye on him too. And then we didn't really hit the big ones too much. I think the big ones are what they are.
I'll get something on the big ones.
You got something on the big ones?
For me, Devontae Freeman's another one that has a very high bust factor.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just going way too high.
Yeah.
Because Julio Jones is going to get his in that offense. They throw the ball. But Telvin Coleman is somebody that could sneak up and take away the passing downs. If he takes away the passing, it's pure rushing.
Yeah.
all it takes is an off year.
Right.
And they did lose Kyle Shanahan.
Yep.
So who's to say this next coach doesn't love Telvin Coleman?
Yeah, they're supposed to stay with the same game plan, but you're right.
Yeah.
And when I looked at some mock drafts on ESPN, they had ESPN rankings for PPR.
Yeah.
Have him right behind Melvin Gordon, above Jordan Howard, above
it's
DeMarco
crazy.
Murray. They think he's the sixth best running back. I'm with you. He's risky up that high.
And we didn't hit on him yet, but I mean, you're probably taking him if you're middle of the second round or something like that, because at that point, and stay away from like the T.Y. Hiltons and stuff. But we'll get into him in a different show. But with Freeman and still on Atlanta, I do like Coleman as another guy that's not in our top 20. Yeah. That he could be a top 20 guy at the end of the year
if he's healthy.
If
another guy.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's going to go with almost all these running backs.
Yeah, it is. They'll get hurt. So that's good stuff. Good stuff.
But that wraps up this episode of the Fantasy Football Wrap-Up. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow the Facebook channel for a chance to win this lovely David Johnson helmet.
Yeah. What is the Facebook group name? Do you remember? Because I forgot.
Fantasy Football Wrap-Up.
Just kidding.
All capital letters.
Yep. Check it out. We'll get back to you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.